the arts and medicine, right? Scientists. That is what this society should be honoring and paying for. I think those are my values. So today I'm going to start by introducing Sergio Polanco from the County Executive's Office. Sergio Polanco is originally from Quetzaltenango, Guatemala, and he pursued his education in architecture and graphic design at the University of San Carlos in the early 90s. During this time, he also honed his passion for communications and community building by working as a radio personality and a producer of a college radio station. After moving to the United States in 1995, he obtained his GED and pursued various courses, including blueprint reading, graphic design, and computer classes at the Gettysburg Community College. This marked the beginning of his career in manufacturing and training for Volvo construction equipment. Mr. Polanco is a dedicated community person, and you're making such a difference in Anne Arundel County, and I don't think people are aware of that, making the connections and bringing us all together. You know, the Hispanic Heritage Month started yesterday, September 15th to October 15th, and how fitting to be recognizing you and honoring you, Jesse, because you're so deserving, and so are you. So, without any further, would you please come further? I think that your words are more impactful than anything I have to say. So thank you for being here and for honoring Jesse, because he deserves it. Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you, everyone, and thanks so much to be here. Today we celebrate the arts, and after the tour that we have and look all this phenomenal work that Jesse is doing, comes to my mind that Hispanic Heritage Month, as a Latinos, as an Hispanics, we are like a rainbow, different colors. We have to be exactly in the same order as we are. Because if we change one of these colors, or we take out one of these colors, it's not gonna be the same impact. And this is what Jesse is doing. Jesse has that talent, Jesse has that gift that God gave you, whatever is your, the way you think, but you are example for the next generations. So now, what is our job for us? We are here. What we do when we come back home. And I hope that we can, if anybody have kids, I think everyone, right? Many of us, I have a daughter 13 years old. But since she got little, I'm always read with her. And even if she don't know how to read, I'm always reading history through her. When I got a chance to be in the libraries and speak with families, all you need to do is 20 minutes a day to read with your kids. Right after that, after a couple months, they will go in by themselves. In my home, is no toys, is no dolls, there are books everywhere. She loves to read, and I'm always saying, today a reader, tomorrow a leader. So you are one of these leaders. In order to have what you have, this talent, you must read first. You read, you get your knowledge, you prepare yourself, and now you are an example of our community. So I'm so proud to be your friend, to have you in Anne Arundel County, to be my partner, and see how we can connect each other, the rest of the community. And I hope back home today, we can get one of these pictures, and we can help to support his vision, and also let's bring our kids to become the next artist after Jesse Raudales' example. Thank you so much.
You know, I was telling you when I started speaking about the benefits of art, right? So if you doubt me, there are a lot of studies that show that our education can help kids engage with school and reduce stress, right? And we live in a world that is very stressful. I feel bad for my kids to grow up with social media, believe it or not. It is really very harmful if you don't have a balance for your mental health. I'd also, the kids that are involved in the arts develop social, emotional, and interpersonal skills. They actually handle constructive criticism well, is what the studies show, and they bolster academic achievement, and most importantly, they improve the focus, because it takes a lot to sit in front of a canvas, blank canvas, to think about what you're gonna paint, to live those emotions that you're living, depending on what your subject, who your subject is, and then to make the time to do it. It takes a lot of dedication and a lot of time. I know I cannot even paint a flower, so my hat off to you. Next, we have Laura Gutierrez. Laura Gutierrez has a passion for serving others and her ability to drive positive change, which is shown through her commitment to inclusivity and collaboration in our community. During her tenure in Annapolis, Laura demonstrated remarkable dedication to community betterment as the Hispanic liaison for the office of the mayor, particularly when the pandemic first struck, and I remember that. She brought together diverse stakeholders to address the unique needs of Hispanic communities. Thanks for her vision and leadership during the height of the pandemic, Laura played a pivotal role in flattening the curve of COVID-19 cases, ultimately safeguarding the health and well-being of countless individuals. Now, as Laura embarks on this new position, which she just got a new job, you could tell them about it, within the state, her impressive track record and unwavering commitment to community welfare makes her an extremely valuable asset. And as someone who has a child as well, you know the importance of art, and you know the importance of supporting someone like Jessie. So welcome, Laura.
What a lovely introduction. So I did not prepare a speech because as I was coming here, I was thinking about when did I first meet Jessie? And I feel like I don't even know the answer to that. It was like my first days in Annapolis. I met Adriana, I met Sergio, and there was a whole lot of names they threw at me of people we needed to know in Annapolis that were doing amazing work. And one of those people was the leader of OIC, and I was like, okay, leader of OIC, who is that? I go to a meeting, Pam Brown organizes Community of Hopes for Annapolis. I go to that meeting and I hear this guy talking about how we need more classes in Spanish for the Latino community to be able to get their high school degrees, and I'm Jessie Raudales, and I was like, this guy is cool. Like, I gotta connect with him. I'm not sure who he is, but I gotta connect with him. Later I find out that's Jessie Raudales OIC. I go and talking to our colleagues in the city about how we need to do events for the Latino community and support the arts and lift up our, the culture of our community. And so again, I'm like, okay, Glory Paredes, I've got, Sandra Powell, who else should I be connecting to? And then I see these amazing photos on Facebook. I'm like, who made this? Jessie Raudales. I'm like, that can't be the same guy. And somehow, he does it all, right? Jessie is truly a force. He is influencing across the board, across education in our community, across culture, across service, across innovation. He's teaching us that we can use the arts as a medium to advocate for our community, and I think that is so important. And that's probably one of our inspirations for doing our youth poetry book. So it's not through painting, but it's through writing, and youth get to share their stories. It's probably one of the best projects I got to work on in Annapolis, where our kids were telling, what they were living, what they were feeling, and what they were afraid to say in other mediums, but they were able to write it down in a poem. And that's what art can do for us. That's what Jessie does for our community and what he's doing for so many others. He pays it forward all the time. So excited to be here. Haven't gotten to see everything here, but it's truly amazing the work that you do, Jessie. So thank you for having me.
So I also get the honor and the pleasure of introducing a man who I know does not need an introduction because we all know him, because he is fearless, a voice, in our community of color. A voice that gives us a conscience, a voice that is not hesitant to tell us when we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, and we welcome that. And someone who is leaving an amazing legacy. So it's very fitting that you're here today, because art is history, related to history. And you talk a lot about our history as people of color, our struggles, the need for change, and Jesse's art reflects all of that. So I have the honor to introduce Mr. Carl Snowden, who's the former Civil Rights Director for the Maryland Office of the Attorney General, is also a former 3-term member of the Annapolis City Council, an author, radio and television host, and currently serves as the convener for the Caucus of African American Leaders. And which is basically a consortium of organizations including the United Black Clergy, the NAACP, the National Black Coalition of 100 Women and Activists, and Black elected officials, myself included. So it is really a true honor, Carl, to introduce you today. Welcome.
Let me just take a moment to ask you, give Joseline a round of applause. What a great job she's doing. I want to acknowledge Will Rao, who's representing the mayor of Annapolis. Vincent Melnyk, who's with the county executive's office. My good friend, Dr. Joseline Fowley. Representing is going to complete our register of wills. And a special thank you to Juanita Cage Lewis, who introduced me to Jesse. And I just want to take a moment to share something. Judge Gibson, I didn't see you in the audience, I see you now. Our Chief Judge, Judge Vicki Gibson. There are two things I want to sort of thank Jesse for, and artists like Jesse. I saw it today. I'm one who pays attention to people. I just watch things. Joseline couldn't see the expression on her face when you opened that portrait of her. What a beauty. She was stunning. I was with Jesse when he presented this portrait to Governor Westmore when he had done. And just like Joseline, the expression came on his face. It's, you know you got it right when they smile as broadly as they do. I know the power of art. I have a son, both of my sons are artists. Kojo is an artist that deals with music. My other son deals with no problem.
Thank you.
But I want to show you the power, if you will, of art. Two different generations in this room. I want to show you what the power of art can do. Just a picture, a photograph, just for a moment. Those of you who are old enough to remember, this happened to be 60 years ago. Emmett Till in that coffin. That photograph captured the world. Just that moment in history, that photograph. It changed the course of history. For younger people in the audience who may not get it, may not have lived during that period of time, you just recently had an experience where, again, a piece of artwork fundamentally changed America. Just 3 years ago, May 20th, 2020, there was this photograph of George Floyd, 9 minutes and 46 seconds. The entire world saw that photograph. Young people, it did something to them. young people organized, mobilized, and energized. There were demonstrations all over the nation because that photograph represented something that those young people could connect with. Jesse is one of those artists that when you know world history, you know the power of art and what art has done. I end with this story. I've been fortunate to do a lot of traveling in my life, and there is a Portuguese slogan that I often use when signing a piece of literature or letter. In these large letters, a luta continua. Those photographs were taken, and it inspired a whole generation of people who decided, and that's why I love your artwork. Your exhibit is called "To Where All Are Free." It's a take from Fannie Lou Hammond, who said, "Nobody's free till everybody's free." These are the times we're living in. I always end my remarks the same way in a community group. Where you are, please stand just for a moment. Just wherever you are, please just stand. Some of you, this will be new to. If you so kindly just reach out and touch one of your neighbors by their hand. Just touch a neighbor. And what I have argued over and over again, and I'll say it again, on this day, there were two things that Martin Luther King Jr. tried to tell the nation. He said, whenever we join hands, we make America better. And historically, we can see it. We can see America being better. Whenever we join hands, women got the right to vote because people joined hands. Nelson Mandela walked out of a prison into the presidency because people joined hands. Barack Obama got elected president because people joined hands. But then he said something else to us. It's the one message that we've yet to understand as a nation. Dr. King said, we've got to learn to love one another. We've got to learn to be able to love each other. So wherever you are, look at your neighbor directly in his or her eyes. The eyes of the soul. It's the window to the soul. When you look in people's eyes, you see who they are. And just simply say to the person who you're looking in the eyes, I love you. Now, Brother Jesse, I was 14 years old one time, and the girl looked at me and said, I love you, and the next day she was somebody else. So I can really tell when people mean it, and so can you. When somebody tells you you love them, you should feel something, that little tingling feel. One more time, look your neighbor in the eye, straight in the eye, and just say, I love you. Thank you so very much. A luta continua. God bless.
Thank you, Carl. So now we're going to hear from the person of the hour who really, I want you to understand, Jesse, I want you to look around and remember this day. Seriously, take a second to look around. You know, we tend to give flowers to people when they die. And sometimes they're beautiful, they are expensive. But the person truly is not seeing them, right? I mean, I have faith in God. But you know, you should give people their flowers when they are alive. And you're getting your flowers now because you deserve it. You know, anyone can call themselves an artist, but a true artist is a person who, as you look at their work, they make you feel something, whatever that is. It's up to you to define it. And you go through emotions and changes, and they should change your life. And as I walked through the exhibit, I felt that in there. And that painting of that child crying, that's real. Okay? And you're changing lives. There's a Buddhist saying, it's my favorite, that says that you don't die when you're cremated or when you're buried. I want you to think about that. You died when the last person on earth, right, has forgotten you. You live, Jesse, through your art forever. Whether it's display in someone's home, and someone inherits that art because it's going to be passed down through generations. Whether it's in a building, a government building, and the people we represent get to see it and feel it, you will live forever. I want to personally thank you for your discipline, because it takes a lot of discipline and courage to do what you do. And thank you for the honor of allowing me to host you today. Jesse.
Michelle, can you come in? I forgot to give the gifts to our speakers. Laura, yours is pink.
For you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And one for Carl and one for Sergio. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for coming out today. Thank you so much for all the kind words and all of your support. As the first Latino Olympic artist to represent the United States, I document the world's current events through my art, so that once I'm gone, people would know what I lived through and what I experienced throughout my lifetime. And you can do that by just looking at the timeline of my body of work. You know when Katrina happened. You know when the kids got separated from their parents. You know when George Floyd got murdered. It's just documented, kind of like hieroglyphics. That's how we know what happened in the past. So without art, we wouldn't know what had happened before us. So being an artist speaks of my gift to the world. Being Latino speaks of my relationship with the world. And people always ask me what motivates me. Seeing the need for change is the motivation to create change. The scope of opportunities needs to be widened for Latinos. My life's experiences as a second-generation American pushes me to be an agent of change. And I'm not gonna sit up here and talk you guys to death. We're gonna go out here and enjoy some art. You can ask me questions out here. Oh, I see the kids just arrived. I know there was an accident on the freeway, and some people are still coming. I want to acknowledge them. Let me get the correct name of the group. It's a class that I'm going to be teaching. Is Ronche here? Ronche, if you could bring the kids up. I want to make sure to acknowledge them. And her nonprofit is called Manifesting Every Great Accomplishment. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate it. And let's go enjoy some artwork.
Hola, yo soy Adrenalina y trabajo para la Contraloría de Maryland. Yo soy el enlace hispano. Y es maravilloso estar aquí viendo estas pinturas tan impresionantes de Jessie Raudales. Jessie, gracias por esta invitación y gracias por estar compartiendo este arte, este regalo que tú nos das, de estar platicando la historia y también brindando estas imágenes tan maravillosas que nos hace sentir la belleza del arte, la belleza del mundo. Muchas gracias por lo que haces. Es un placer estar aquí. Muchas gracias.
My name is James Dance. This is my wife, Paige, and we are actually the proud owners of two of Jesse Raudales paintings, which we prominently display in our home, in particular because one is Elijah McClain, who was a victim of police brutality. It's something that a very important moment in our nation's history that we cannot forget. And then secondly, in my basement, we have a picture of Malcolm X, both of which are very poignant snapshots of important moments in our history. So we are definitely Jesse Raudales fans, and we are so excited about what God is doing in his life and how this thing is going to bless the community and the work that he's doing.
When I saw the painting of Elijah McClain, I knew that I actually had to possess that just because of his story and actually what happened. It touched me so much.
You're in education, right?
Yeah, thank you, honey, for being in education. But I'm grateful, and I actually love this work. Hi, Jesse.
I just want to give a heartfelt shout out to Jesse. Jesse Raudales is a stand-up guy, an amazing artist, and most importantly, he takes the art that he creates and transforms it into a way to deal with social justice issues. And for me, as an artist myself, I understand the power of whatever medium that you choose. And Jesse has fully embraced that and found a way to make a not only cultural statement, but to make a social statement about various issues that impact us as people of color. And as a black man, and descendant of slaves, and from Africa, it is very close to my heart the way we artistically express ourselves, because that is a part of our history and our culture, and it is the way in which we translate and articulate our language and emotions. And so, Jesse, your exhibit, what we're witnessing today, is both momentous, but also, long overdue, because, I got you, brother, and I really love your work. I love you, and I love what you speak for. So on behalf of the city, myself personally, and also the mayor of the city of Annapolis, let's get it.
Hi, I'm April Nine. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for the Anne Arts Council, and I'm here tonight to celebrate Jesse Raudales. He is a pleasure to have in our arts community, and what a talent. So happy to have him.
And I'm Tricia Sanborn. I am the Chief Operating Officer of the Arts Council of Anne Arundel County, and I'm here today with April to celebrate Jesse, who is one of our very own local artists, and we want to show his support for him.
We're really thrilled to have Jesse's exhibition here at Chesapeake Arts Center. The way the exhibition actually came about was about a year and a half ago. I met Jesse at a community event, and we started talking. And I hadn't met Jesse before, I didn't know him, but we had a great conversation, and he told me all about his artwork and his background. And so I said, we are just starting a new expanding exhibition program. We just added a new gallery space here at Chesapeake Arts Center, and he shared with me some information. And then he and our gallery coordinator connected, and so again, that was about a year ago, and it seemed like, having Jesse here during Hispanic Heritage Month would be the ideal time and place to showcase the work that he does, and to really just showcase his talents and the skills and all the stories that really go behind the artwork that he does throughout the year. So we're excited to have him here.
Hi, I'm Alejandra Ivanovich. I'm a community activist, the director of Amigos of Baltimore County. I serve on the Baltimore County Women's Commission. I'm Baltimore County Woman of the Year for 2020. I honestly came here to support Jesse. This is amazing. The art is so beautiful, but I'm leaving here so inspired by the meaning of his art. It's been an incredible experience the meaning, the process, everything I've learned today. It just made me a prouder Latina, and I just really, I am inspired to really make the change that I always have, worked so hard to do in my community. So thank you, Jessie, so much for everything you do for us.
Hola, ¿qué tal a todos? Mi nombre es Maricruz Abarca. Estoy muy feliz en este día de estar aquí presente celebrando una presentación más con Jessie. Es un honor para mí estar aquí, honestamente, y mirar el maravilloso trabajo que está haciendo Jessie representando a nuestra comunidad latina. Hoy es un día muy importante, ¿verdad? Porque como ya saben, estamos celebrando el mes de la herencia hispana, entonces los invitamos a que sean partícipes de este evento, de participen, ¿verdad? Y nos apoyemos los unos con los otros. Muchas gracias.
Hello, my name is Michael Morrissey. I'm here at Jesse Raudales' art exhibit, and honestly, it's one of the most extensive and diverse pieces of collection of artwork I've seen from him, and like in the entirety of me knowing him, and it's like really beautiful to see all of everything kind of being laid out together. It's really an experience to not only like to walk through, immerse yourself in, but also just to know it's been created by a really dope artist.
Hi, I'm Nia. I had the pleasure of meeting Jesse this year. Before I even knew he was an artist, there was something about him that was definitely artistic, for lack of a better word. This is my first time seeing his art in a gallery or an exhibition of some sort, and I was very impressed, not in a bad way, in a great way. I love the different forms of art and the mixed media that he uses, specifically the portraits. Feeling very inspired, especially as a Black woman, seeing George Floyd and just all the Black portraits that he has as well, not just Spanish ones. And honestly, I'm just really honored to be here. Thank you.
Welcome to Until All Are Free, the Jesse Raudales experience. The word of Jesse Raudales is being a Latino represents his relationship with the world, but he was born an artist. So if you were not able to make it today, we hope that you're able to come through at some point. It'll be here from September 7th to October 29th. Thank you very much.
I just want to thank everybody for coming. My name is Jesse Raudales. I'm your first Latino Olympic artist to represent the United States. And I use my art to document the world's current events and hopefully tell a story of my time here on Earth. Thank you so much.